It's your boy Kevin Thornton. You have tuned in to the Wellness Architect Show. Today is Monday, December 2nd, 2019. And I have an amazing show for you tonight. This is a show I've been waiting on for 1 month, but I've been following this guy for a while. He's doing amazing things in the health and wellness community. And one of the things people always ask me is, why do I have people who do the same thing as I do on my show? They could take away opportunities to make money for myself. I don't work and operate out of lack. There's enough room for he and I to both do amazing things. And he might do things, he might manifest things to you that I can't do for you, and vice versa. So therefore, I want to introduce people like this to you, to the world. But also, you all know my platform is to showcase black men doing great things in the community, because mainstream media does not showcase men like him. So then therefore, it's my opportunity, it's my duty to showcase black brothers doing these type of things. So that's why I do what I do, and I know the universe will bless me on the back end. With that being said, before I introduce my extraordinary guest, my co-host Lotus Riche is not available today. She is in the ATL, but she's visiting some sick family members. So please put her prayers in for her. But she did send her motivational word of the day. So the motivational word today is patience. So patience is the ability to uh, be patient to things that is beyond your control, whether it's a situation due to lack of funds, your journey, your wellness. All that is part of being patient and not getting angry or upset during that journey. And that's a key word for tonight, because during our wellness, I believe a lot of times we tend to look for the fad diets and all that kind of stuff to try to lose weight quickly without having to stop eating the things we love to eat. And that's something that we need to change our mindset on. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce you to a man from St. Louis, Missouri, who goes by the name of the Minister of Wellness, Mr. Nathaniel Jordan. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. It's an honor to be on your show. I hope I'm coming in loud and clear for everyone.
Yes, you are. Can you tell? I believe that you could tell the audience better than I can who you are, what you do, and how you get to this point right here, right now.
Yeah, so my name is Nathaniel Jordan, the Minister of Wellness, and I started my health journey really when I was growing up in St. Louis, Missouri. My father was a pastor, and he ate a very poor diet, and we were raised eating the standard American diet, which is pretty much meat and sugar. I had a lot of health problems growing up as a child. I went off into the Marines. Was on the All Marine boxing team at 165 pounds. I left, became a police officer right here in St. Louis City. I ballooned up to 260 pounds. Now, by the time I made it that far, my father started having a string of strokes. My uncles, his brothers, they started to suffer from diabetes, heart disease. Everybody's like the men in my family started dropping like flies. So when I got that heavy, as a police officer, my blood pressure became high. And that when my blood pressure became high, I knew I had to make a change. I knew it was time to make a change. So I started to train to fight again. And I made it all the way back down using a ketogenic type of diet back into my 60s. However, I was not well internally. It was not until I started developing high cholesterol, high triglycerides, slightly enlarged heart. I had heart disease, which runs in my family. And it wasn't until I came across information by medical doctors who have bucked their medical training, the brainwashing that they try to submit them to during medical school. And I started learning that it's what we eat when it comes to diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and so forth. And when I found that out, it was a wrap from there. I went 100% eating a nutrient dense, plant rich, nutritarian diet. and I reversed my heart disease. And that's when my father, I couldn't convince him to change. When I lost that 100 pounds, I became famous on the police department. I started health coaching other police officers for free. And that's when I knew that this was the gift that I had been given. So I stayed on for about a couple more years, but when my father passed away, October of 2015, that's when I felt a divine calling to become the minister of wellness. That title was given to me under divine inspiration right after my father passed away. And when I received that calling, I was done. I was done with my career in the police department, and since 2015, I've been proclaiming the truth ever since, and I've had extraordinary results. And the word is continuing to spread, and I'm just very thankful to be able to reach people such as yourself. And I have a few dozen documented success stories, but I probably have hundreds around the world at this point. It's just that most people, unfortunately, I can't get most people to submit,
Right.
before and after pictures. So,
Yeah. That's my struggle too. But I did see one. I saw a young man on your page. I think today. I don't know. I forgot where he's coming from, but he had already lost like 66 pounds or something like that. He was like weighing. I forgot. He had weighed.
yeah, yeah, a guy from Canada.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a guy from Canada, and I tell people that on my page all the time because, like you said, it's rare for the media doesn't show black men doing great things, especially, we need more strong black men for our people. However, being in health and wellness, as you know, unless you just gonna tell people to their face that listen, I only care about working with one type of people, you're going to be worldwide. This is a universal issue. So yeah, I mean, he's from Canadian, full blown Canadian, and he
Right.
lost 6 pounds in less than 4 months because the information is for everyone. It's about health, and everybody is suffering with this worldwide. And there's a lot of people that don't seem to understand that there are some health disparities that exist. But to be honest with you, brother, I'm starting to believe that a lot of those health disparities are somewhat exaggerated. You go down south, I've had, when you go down south, it ain't too much difference between white and black in the South. I mean, you got 600-pound elephants walking around on both sides of the equation. It's not
Right.
that much. It seems to be more a difference in economics. But even then, my mentor, Dr. Joel Furman, he speaks primarily to rich corporate America, and he say they all still fat and sick.
Right. I agree. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, I know you are a health coach as well. Did you go to any programs to get your to be a health coach?
I went through the American Council on Exercise, but American Council on Exercise, they contribute very little to the knowledge that I have.
Right.
Most of my knowledge, again, my nutritional mentor is Dr. Joel Furman. He's the one that coined the term nutritarian. He's a six-time New York best-selling author. I went through his course. I'm more, kind of like the Malcolm X type of mold, where I'm more of a self-educated and something that you can't learn in school is you can't learn how, first of all, how to lose 100 pounds,
Right.
but how do you keep off? I have 12 components of food addiction that I have formulated that teaches people why it's so hard to keep the weight off, why it's so hard to be healthy. That was all learned through my experience, through health coaching, a couple hundred clients up to this point, and through my own struggles.
Right.
That's how I formulate those. You're not going to learn the 12 components of food addiction in school. So, but yeah, I went through American Council on Exercise, but that's just more a formality. Just like some people, they'll go to medical school, like Dr. Bradford Weeks,
Uh huh.
and he went to medical school to become a doctor. He told me he already knew that 90% of what he was about to learn was hogwash, but he went just to get the title. so he could use the power of that title for good.
Right. One of the things I watched on your one of your videos is when you eat a 3 pound salad a day. Do you still do that?
Yeah, yeah, I still do. Yeah, still do. That's the when I'm eating the nutritarian diet, when I'm eating the way that I'm supposed to eat and the way that I teach others, that's a staple in the diet because the nutritarian diet demands that we consider the medicinal value of the food. Our food is our medicine. Let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. Well, which foods have the most medicines? So those are green vegetables. So you want to eat a lot of greens. Like I say, one of the favorite lines that I'm famous for is in part one on my 12-part series, The Power of the G Bombs. I say you should be eating so many greens that your doggone doodle is green.
Absolutely.
So, and the salad fulfills that requirement. I mean, when you eat green vegetables, that's like eating a bucket of, I mean, it's like a bucket of medicines. I mean, there's no amount of drugs. You have to, all the pills in Walgreens combined, all them fake synthetic ripoffs from plants, you could consume all of them, and you wouldn't have even consumed 1/10 of the amount of medicines inside of a bowl of broccoli, for instance, or a bowl of kale.
Absolutely. Now, I'm a big fan of Dr. Furman as well, but for those who don't know what a nutritarian is compared to just a regular vegan, what can you tell them what the difference is?
Yeah, vegan just means you don't eat animal. That's all that means. You don't eat animal. That's a vegan. A nutritarian, so vegan. I mean, you can consume sugar, you can consume oils, you can consume salt. Being a vegan is the reason why I'm not in top shape right now. I'm not close to being in at the top level of conditioning that I should be, and that's because I've been eating a lot of vegan foods. So that means lower nutrient foods, a lot of carbs, meaning in the form of bread. You can carbs from fresh fruit is perfect, but I'm talking about lower nutrient carbs like a lot of breads, you know, vegetables, oily vegetables like Indian food, Chinese food, you know. So I mean, you can sweets as long as you don't have any dairy in it. So I mean, you can be a junk food vegan. You can be a fat vegan. You can be overweight as a vegan. You know, if you frying all your vegetables, like you know, I mean, you can. So that doesn't mean anything for health. That's more of a social issue. A nutritarian is a health issue. Whole foods, foods that grow from earth, a focus on micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, medicine foods. Not just a concern about no animals. No, what foods give me the most medicine? So that means that, yeah, I am by default. Do I eat animals? No. But the reason why I don't eat animals as a nutritarian is because what do I need it for? Oh, well, you need it for protein. Well, that's a lie. Protein comes from green vegetables. So once you come from under the idolatry of protein, what are you eating it for? You can get a higher quality source of protein, and that's what a nutritarian always strives to do. We're always trying to go better. What's the best source of carbs? What's the best source of fat? What's the best source of protein? Vegans don't care. Veganism is just, hey, if it ain't got no animal, if an animal didn't have to die for me to have what I'm about to eat, man, I don't care. I have a fake meat specialty pizza and you know, the fake cheeses and the Impossible Burger and all of these things, and that's why again and that's Whole Foods. I mean, Whole Foods is 90% vegan junk food. There's only really one part of Whole Foods that is nutritarian, and that's the produce section. The rest of it is just vegan junk food.
And you went into one of those things I wanted to talk to you about, which is the craze for the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Burger. And what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's junk. I mean, it's processed junk. It's not gonna make you healthy. It's just vegan. I mean, I do. The meat industry is wicked. Man, if you don't have to kill an animal to eat, which we don't have to, then to me, in my opinion, you shouldn't do it. So I choose not to. So again, you know, I've had Beyond Burger before, and it was, I mean, I could feel my blood pressure shooting up. I've never had the Impossible Burger because that's just a step too far in the right. When that Impossible Burger came out, that's when I started a series on my YouTube channel, The Dark Side of Veganism. But what most people don't understand is that the reason why I created that series is to help me. That's what people don't get. I'm just a human being. I'm in the struggle, I'm in the fight like anybody else. So when I make my videos, those videos are to benefit me, and then in helping myself, I'm hoping that it will help others. So I'm against, I mean, vegan junk food. If you're going to eat lower quality, if you're going to eat low nutrient plant food, vegan food, at least let it be whole food. And I support chefs in restaurants that are doing it the right way. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? They make it comfort food that's vegan, but it's whole food.
Right.
You know, this Impossible Burger, and and now KFC and White Castle and all these other places, it's going too far. It is going too far in the wrong direction, and I feel like I have a responsibility to bring people back to, hey, this is how we should be eating. You know, we shouldn't be eating a bunch of fake stuff.
Right.
Just vegan. That's not going to help our health, and we don't have to sacrifice our lives just to save animals. I can't ever support that. So I lose a lot of vegans on that because I'm not about to sit here and tolerate a human being being 400 pounds and dying of a diabetic in the name of saving animals.
Okay. So I know you did. I saw a couple of videos on breast cancer, and I really want you to speak on breast cancer. I have a couple of people that I know very well who are diagnosed with breast cancer, and one of the things that you had on your video, which I also knew, was they have to change their diet and go plant based. Um, and for both situations, they was resistant in doing that. Um, I'd rather it come from another person outside of myself to explain to the audience why is it so important when you get diagnosed with breast cancer or any form of cancer to change your diet to a plant-based diet.
Yeah, I mean, breast cancer is 90%, if not 100%, preventable through nutrition and lifestyle. The top two causes of breast cancer is the toxicity from the diet and then the pharmaceutical industry. So it's the diet, and the women develop high blood pressure, diabetes, and then they get on these drugs, and all of the drugs, most that they all cause breast cancer. So that's what causes breast cancer. I mean, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is a hoax. I went off on a tangent for the whole month of October, as you've probably seen. I have an entire 90-minute lecture for free on breast cancer. I mean, the focus it's a money making racket. It's just about giving women false hope in a mammogram, and they think that a mammogram can overpower diet and lifestyle. And the truth is that we still have parts in the world, especially in rural parts of Africa, where Black women do not get breast cancer because they're still living and eating naturally. Tumors don't have to form in your breast. Most women don't even know what breast cancer is. They don't know what cancer is. They don't know what a tumor is. They don't know what helps to grow a tumor. To them, as long as I get a mammogram, I'm good. Even if the mammogram detects something, half the time is wrong, and they're going to overdiagnose it. And even if they're right, I mean, the treatments cause cancer. The treatments will kill you. The treatments cause heart disease. I mean, most women die from heart disease in this country, and not from breast cancer anyway. The number one fuel for cancer is sugar. You go to all these stupid breast cancer awareness month marches and groups and charities, and they serving breast cancer causing food. They giving them sugar, processed meats that the World Health Organization has already told people cause breast cancer. Obesity fuels breast cancer. You won't hear about that during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a hoax. It's just a money-making racket. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is designed to funnel money, millions and millions of dollars, into the breast cancer treatment industry. It's all about treating, because that's where the big bucks is. If women woke up and came from under their food addiction and start eating to live in the manner that I teach, then them jokers would go bankrupt.
Absolutely.
people are resistant to the change because they're food addicts.
Absolutely. I always said that good health don't make money for in the medical industry. So they don't want you to have good health. They want you to be able to treat you so you can keep coming back because that makes more money for them. But we don't understand that. I think we have allowed them to create a narrative that we need these medications or we need this chemotherapy or we need this radiation in order to beat this disease. And it's documented that you don't need none of that. And I know I saw on your page you did a video about a young lady. I think the police was after her because she stopped having her son or someone doing chemotherapy, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, she's on the run from Arkansas, Nebraska. I'm sorry. Yeah, mother from Nebraska, and her son had a rare type of cancer. Of course, they wanted to do chemo, but the chemo was killing them, like it does most cancer patients. As a matter of fact, Alex Trebek, who is the longtime host of Jeopardy, he's going through the same thing where the chemotherapy is killing him. He has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He's 79 years old. It's a money making racket. It's like, why are you even sending that man through that? And you know that what you're doing to him isn't going to work or extend his life. Well, it's because of money.
Right.
But yeah, your child develops cancer, you got to be careful taking children to these death care centers because your child, if they get the child is diagnosed with cancer by them, then they'll take your child from you and they'll force the chemo on your child.
Right.
And there's a doctor in Houston, Texas named Stanislaw Brzezinski, and they've been terrorizing that man for decades. And if you want, he has a natural treatment that helps cancer, but before you can even go to him, you have to have him nuke your insides and nearly kill you with the conventional treatments. Then they'll allow you to be seen by Dr. Stanislaw Brzezinski. And people are just so brainwashed they fall for this stuff. People, they worship the medical industry. That's one of the false gods of our society. They absolutely worship. They're put on a pedestal on the level of God Himself, higher than God.
Mm-hmm.
Because you tell people to eat God's medicine, they say that it's rabbit food, but they run to them death care doctors and do whatever they tell them to do.
Absolutely. Now, I heard you when you was talking, when you was giving your bio, that you had heart disease, and that's a major thing in our community. Can you dispel some of the myths? Because I know when I have clients come on and they have heart disease, they're kind of scared to drink water. They be scared to, do a smoothie because they feel it might mess up their heart. I know it's not true, but can you dispel, since you experienced that, what was your journey like um, curing that illness?
Yeah, well, it was amazing because my cardiologist, he wanted to see me in 6 weeks so he could put me on drugs or possibly even recommend some type of surgery. And your blood pressure lowering, the heart is a muscle the size of a closed fist,
Mm-hmm.
and that muscle is made up of cells, and our cells are nourished by the nutrients, which is just another word for the medicines we eat in food. And the higher and the higher the nutrient quality of your diet, then your heart can't help but to restore itself, restore the purification of the blood, because most Americans' blood is very thick and gunky.
Mm-hmm.
It's saturated fat, cholesterol, sugar, and salt, and oils. And you remove all of that, and that restores the purity of your blood flow, the blood vessels themselves. Usually, Americans' blood vessels become very stiff,
Mm-hmm.
and the heart has to overwork to get that blood through. But the nutrients, the medicines in fresh fruits and vegetables, it restores the elasticity to the blood vessels. So, I mean, it's documented. I mean, I did it, and not just myself. I mean, I've helped many people reverse high blood pressure, which is a form of heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
Health. So, I mean, it is, again, we are what we eat. And that's why I recommend people just It's just about getting the education, reading the books, and seeing other success stories, and then trying it out.
Right.
Just what do you have to lose because whatever you're doing now isn't working.
Right. I remember I had a client. I made him go raw vegan for 7 days. No,
Mm-hmm.
no sugar, no caffeine, no processed food, just raw fruits and vegetables for 7 days. In that 7 days, he had high blood pressure, and he was diabetic, and he had never had a great high blood pressure reading. They always had issues to try and get his blood pressure. And after the 7 days going raw vegan, his blood pressure was normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
And,
I believe it.
and he was so excited. However, he went back to eating how he was normally eating. So then, of course, his blood pressure went back up again. And so I was trying to make him understand that your blood pressure went down based on the foods you put in your body. And you got to continue to eat that type of food to maintain that blood pressure being the way it is. But they don't want to stop eating the soul food that we were nurtured on as kids. And so instead of going to a whole food plant based diet. So what's your thoughts on that, especially for our community?
Yeah, food addiction is a monster. I mean, the foods they made, the foods and the drugs. Whenever you take a whole plant and you remove the nutritional value, you turn it into a psychological drug. That's the first component of food addiction, a pleasure trap. Food or drugs now, these aren't real foods anymore. They're a bunch of drugs that are meant to hook people for life. And they mess with people's brain. It's a form of sorcery because people, it's almost impossible to get off this stuff. Even when you have the knowledge that we have, it's still difficult because me or you ain't perfect.
Right.
I ain't perfect, and I don't even have to ask you to be perfect because I know none of us are, except for people that might have been blessed to have grown up eating healthy. And so they probably, you have a few people that were fortunate enough. Hopefully, my sons will stay the course. But shoot, man, I mean, when you grow up on this stuff, brother, there used to be a time. I mean, man, I was eating a triple whopper with cheese every day. You
Yeah.
know, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
The
I
whole
remember that too. So,
right. So once you get on that, you gotta fight for the rest of your life.
right.
I mean, you can't relax. You can't relax. You can't give up. I mean, it's like being on the front lines in Afghanistan
Exactly.
when you eat healthy, especially when you're dealing. And the worst part about it is the people around you. The
Exactly.
people that claim they love you, they'll push you to eat yourself to death.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen to them. You show up to Fourth of July and you eat yourself to death, and and you suffer a heart attack right there. And all of a sudden, they'll stop persecuting you when you're dead and cry at your funeral. And
Yep.
then repast, they'll go right back to eating the foods that put you 6 feet under. That's how crazy people are. It's a lot of mental illness because of this food. But yeah, the food addiction, man, is most people need rehab. They need some type of rehab to go to just get away from from this culture. And then heck, myself, I can't wait one day to disappear and get away from this insane culture.
So, what is the G bombs?
Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. So again, a nutritarian, the health equation, we live by this health equation. Our health is dependent upon the amount of micronutrients we consume per calories. H equals N over C. That's how healthy. The more micronutrients you eat, the healthier you are. The less micronutrients you eat and the more calories you consume with lower micronutrient density, then the fatter and sicker you'll get. Okay, so when we stick to that equation, then we ask, okay, we know that the healthiest foods are fresh fruits and vegetables. However, out of the out of the plant kingdom, which fruits and vegetables have the most powerful medicines in them? Because all fruits and vegetables are made the same. And
Right.
so that's where the G bombs come in. The G bombs, each of them contains powerful anti-cancer medicines. Now, The reason why it's important to focus on anti-cancer medicines is because it is more difficult to prevent and reverse cancer than it is heart disease. And
Right.
that's because of the toxicity that we're dealing with. Cancer is related to your emotions, it's related to all these poisons in the air,
Mm-hmm.
all the toxins. I mean, even the doggone clothes that we wear is fuming out cancer causing chemicals. So we want to eat a diet that will most protect us despite all of that I've mentioned against cancer. Because heart disease, I mean, it don't matter. I mean, as long as you eat plants, you can reverse heart disease.
Right.
So we want to focus on cancer, and that's where the G bombs come in: greens, cruciferous vegetables, beans, onions, mushroom, berries, and seeds. Each of them have nutrients. Greens, cruciferous vegetables, isothiocyanates, beans, inositol, pentakisphosphate, onions, organosulfate compounds, mushrooms, angiogenesis inhibitors, berries, flavonoids and other antioxidants, then seeds, lignans, sterols, phenols, polysterols, and so forth. Those are anti-cancer medicines in the G bombs, and you take those and you create a delicious diet style with recipes based off of those six foods, and miraculous things can happen.
Absolutely. So when I been promoting the fact that you're going to be on the show, I have gotten a lot of texts and emails with questions from men and women that I wanted to ask you for the listeners. So for the men, one of the major questions they wanted to ask you is how to reverse erectile dysfunction naturally.
Yeah, and erectile dysfunction, I did a video on that. Erectile dysfunction is heart disease. So if you have erectile dysfunction, you have heart disease because the vessels, the blood vessels leading to the extremities are much smaller than the blood vessels leading to the heart. So when you're eating the standard American diet, those blood vessels down there are much more susceptible to close up with saturated fatty cholesterol. So that's why it's a major sign that you're on your way to heart disease. So if you have erectile dysfunction, you need to eat a diet that will help you reverse cardiovascular disease. So it's the same diet, nutrient dense, plant rich diet. The easiest way to fit all the G bombs in is the four S's: smoothies, salads, soups, steamed green vegetables. Your diet can be very simple: smoothie for the breakfast, salad for lunch with a homemade salad dressing, a soup, a bean and mushroom soup for dinner with a plate of steamed green vegetables. If you ate like that every day, I mean, you would be a machine.
Right. So the next question comes from the ladies, and they want to know what can they do to reverse their thyroid issues, whether it's hypo or hyperthyroid issues.
Thyroid, I know hypo is a little more complicated than hyperthyroid. Hyperthyroid, you want to eat a diet that's very high in cruciferous vegetables to restore the hormones that are out of whack. With hypo, that also has to do with some deficiencies in iodine, and hypo can also be contributed to an autoimmune disease. So that's a little more complicated. However, proper, that's why we also teach, along with a nutrient dense plant rich diet, proper supplementation. So if you're having thyroid issues, especially hypo or underactive thyroid, it's very important to have a high quality supplement to make sure there's no nutritional deficiencies, especially iodine, selenium, zinc, and some other nutrients that can be contributing to hypo. But I have several videos on my YouTube channel where I went into great detail on hyper and hypo. And
Okay.
if people, yeah, people go to my YouTube channel, The Minister of Wellness, I have a whole playlist called Prevent and Reverse All Disease. All of my videos are broken up into different playlists to make it easier for people to access the information that they need.
Okay. So, what do you recommend For I have a young man who is overweight, high blood pressure, and diabetic. And with that, the medication he's using for both is now affecting his kidneys. So what would you recommend for them?
Well, if he has high blood pressure and diabetes, he needs to get my reverse high blood pressure book and DVD, and I have a book and DVD on reversing diabetes. He needs to reverse his conditions, work with his doctor to get off his medication, get off the drugs he's taking that's destroying him. But he has to get off his food addiction. You know, it's a quick fix. You know, high blood pressure and diabetes is a quick fix. Again, the diet is easy. It's the addiction that's hard, and that's why my all the events that I have coming up in January, I'm going to focus so hard on food addiction. And I always tell people when I lecture that listen, you know, this is knowing what to eat is the easy part. The hard part is the addiction. Once you know what to eat, then it's staying with it. And that
Mm-hmm.
comes down to the addiction. So, you know, I'm sorry about that. I also have a book, Prevent and Reverse All Disease 100% Naturally, and that covers a little bit of everything. But again, and it's best to, if you can afford a holistic doctor. We do have medical doctors that are holistic now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that insurance, the wicked insurance companies won't cover them.
Absolutely.
I recommend that everyone find a holistic medical doctor because they are on the rise. There's a growing number of them where they know the truth, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll be more than glad to help assist you get off drugs. Again, it's just that you can't expect your insurance to cover real medical care.
Right. Absolutely. Um, with that being said, to your extent, you said that the curing the high blood pressure, the diabetes, and all the other diseases are it's simple with the diet, but it's the food addiction that is the problem. I remember I had a client that was diagnosed with cancer, and I think she had breast cancer, but then she also had like a mass on her back, and she went completely plant based. I had her eating a lot of dark green vegetables, a lot of water, a lot of smoothies, a lot of juices, and it went away. I told the person, hey, this is your lifestyle. You can't go back to what you was doing because you ate a lot of bad food, you drank a lot of liquor, and all that turns into sugar, and sugar feeds cancer cells. And but the addiction to the food overwhelmed, oh no, trumped what I was telling her, and she went back to eating the way she used to eat. She started back drinking again, and the cancer cells came back, and it was like spread it quickly. And I like you have the tools to do what you want to do, but that food addiction, she could not do it again. So, what would you say to people who, with the food addiction, what would be your recommendation of first steps they need to do?
Knowledge is power. You know, if you knowledge is power. I have a 12-part series on my YouTube channel, The Minister of Wellness, the 12 components of food addiction. It's very important to watch that. Now, before people watch that, they want to watch The Power of the G Bombs. That's a 12-part series. And then I have a 4-part series, The Fundamentals of Eating to Live. But that's the first step, is extensive knowledge. If you can invest in having health coaching from yourself or me, I don't do as much health coaching anymore, but anybody who wants to do health coaching, I still health coach people from time to time. Seminars, because I'm primarily a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I mostly travel around the nation at this point doing health seminars. Come out to the seminars, make the investment. I have one coming up January 4th in St. Louis, Missouri. Come on out. If you within 7 hours, come on out because that's important to meet up with other people, network with other people at live events. Knowledge is power. You got to make this a second religion. Whatever your religion or whatever your faith or spiritual system is, you better put health right underneath because if you don't, you ain't gonna make it. You gotta be vigilant about this, man. You gotta study and learn this stuff every day. And I helped a friend lose 100 pounds in 100 days a few years ago. And in order for him to achieve that, he had to keep that knowledge in his ear all day long. He would listen to health information. It took that level of commitment. And as soon as he fell off with his commitment, and then he gained all the weight back.
So that's one of the next questions that someone had is you lost. They said you lost 100 pounds in 100 days too, as well. Correct?
No,
You didn't, or that was one of you, how much weight?
mine of mine.
Okay, so,
Yeah, it took me a year to lose
okay.
100.
So your client that lost 100 pounds in 100 days, what did he do? I know you say he embraced it with a lot of videos, all that kind of stuff. But what did he do, food wise? Because that's the question they want to know. They had him lose 100 pounds in 100 days.
Yeah, he would eat all his G bombs in one sitting. So he would have his large salad, he would have his bean and vegetable soup, he would have his steamed green vegetables, he would have watermelon. He would make him some nutritarian desserts because you can have some desserts in moderation as long as you're sweetening it naturally, and that's in the form of dried fruit. And he would eat one big meal, but he would also work out before and work out after, and he would sandwich in the one big meal, two meals at most. But he was strict with the nutritarian diet: smoothie, salad, soup, steamed green vegetables. He was very strict with that, strict with his lifestyle. I have a book based off of what he did. It's coming back out in a few weeks. Lose 100 pounds in 100 days. The book. It's been out of print for a while, but it's been in such high demand that I'm bringing it back. So it'll be up for pre-order in a few days. My revised edition. And what's so important about the book is that I'm adding all of the articles that I did on food addiction. So the all 12 components of food addiction will be transcribed and will be added in that book. Because again, after you read about what he's done, trust me, many have tried and not many have made it because people think they can just copy off of what he do. People always want the easy way out. That's one of the components of food addiction is energy conservation. People just want to know what I eat every day or what he ate every day. That's not going to get the job done.
Right.
You just going to be able to get off of the standard American diet. This is drugs we dealing with. It's as difficult getting off this stuff as it is getting off heroin.
Right. Absolutely. And one of the things you said when you were doing your bio is that when you started losing your weight initially, you went on the keto diet, but then it helped you physically lose weight, but internally it was killing you. Can you explain that to those? Because that's like the biggest fad diet going on right now. So can you explain how that affected you and why it's not as healthy for you as people may think it is?
Yeah, it's based off meat. It's based off animal protein, and animal protein has no micronutrients, very little, if any. It has no phytonutrients. Phytonutrients is a special class of medicines in plant food. Phyto means plant. It's hundreds of thousands of them. Like in the cruciferous vegetable like kale, isothiocyanate is 120 of them. So it's very, an animal is devoid of that. It has no fiber. It's a bunch of cholesterol and saturated fat. It contains a hormone, a growth hormone called insulin-like growth factor 1. If that growth hormone remains elevated in adulthood, and it causes cancer. It's a strong contributor to the breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer epidemics. And the ketogenic diet is based off of that. When you eat foods low in nutrients, it pollutes your cells, and that creates these toxic withdrawal pains that lead people to believe they're hungry. People's stomach growl, they think they need something to eat. People get headaches, think they need something to eat. They get fatigued, they think they need something to eat. That's toxic hunger. That's the seventh component of food addiction. And animal contributes to all of that. It builds bad bacteria in the gut. That's why when you're on the ketogenic diet, you have to eat every 2, 3 hours because you're too uncomfortable if you don't eat. But when you eat a nutrient-dense nutritarian diet, it detoxes your cells. And when your cells are detoxed, guess what happens when you're not eating, when you're done digesting food? Well, you don't feel nothing. You don't get stomach growls. You don't get headaches. All of that goes away. Is replaced, the toxic hunger is replaced by true hunger, which is felt right here in the mouth and in the throat. And that means you can go long periods of time without eating, which is healthy because the only time your body can fast, the only time your body can heal is in a state of fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Then you not only will you lose weight, but you're healthy internally. Because the only way to be healthy is to eat as little as possible, as infrequently as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can comfortably eat as little and as infrequently as possible is a nutrient dense, plant rich, nutritarian diet.
Excellent. So, the next question is from a young lady. She wants to know, uh, what's her question? She wants to know for anti-inflammation. So she has rheumatoid arthritis, and she wants to know what foods she need to eat to incorporate that can help her reverse that issue.
Well, it's the same diet. It's the beauty of when you eat to live. It's the same diet. G-bombs, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. They don't change. Breaking up the body in different diseases, that's just something that the insurance companies come up with so they can have different things to charge you for. And for they can create different specialties, different professions, rheumatology, you have the eye doctor, the nose doctor, the foot doctor, the heart doctor, the pancreatic doctor, all these different doctors, and they would all be in soup lines if everyone ate to live because one diet treats the body holistically. Now, with rheumatoid arthritis, it's important when you have an autoimmune disease to address your gut health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have a full online store, the ministerofwellness.com, full online store, and I have a supplement that helps build probiotics in the gut, restoring gut health. But it's very important, that's where beans come into play, green vegetables, they're prebiotic type foods that help build the gut bacteria. A diet heavy in green vegetables, but that's the diet you should be eating anyway. So I mean, it's the same protocol. It's the same protocol with some modifications based off of what's going on with the individual. But that's where a holistic medical doctor comes into play to where you might have some individual needs. If you have autoimmune disease, you should be juicing.
Mm-hmm.
You should be having some freshly squeezed green vegetable juice at least twice a day. So that's very important. And then fasting is even more important for an autoimmune disease because once again, forget what you heard on the news. The only true form of detox, the only true form of detox is fasting. So it's very important when you want to reset your immune system. It's very important to fast.
Okay. So the next question is from a young lady, and she wants to know. Um, I had said on my show several times that we suffer from chronic constipation, and she said that she goes to the bathroom once a week, and she wants to know what could she do to increase the amount of time she goes to the bathroom.
Wow, yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, this man must be a yeah. So that is severe constipation, not eating fiber. And the government says you should be eating 25 grams of fiber a day, but less than 3% of all Americans eat 25 grams a day.
Mm-hmm.
But I say you should be eating 50 to 100 grams a day. So, you need to up your fiber intake. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. Lots of beans, lots of green vegetables. You do have freshly squeezed vegetable juice. I know freshly squeezed prunes and cranberry juice, along with the plant-rich diet, and then that should clear you up in no time in a few weeks. But that's very dangerous to have that type of constipation, and you gotta stop eating these fiberless foods.
Mm-hmm.
That's the meats, the dairies, anything that comes from an animal has no fiber. It'll stop you right up like you putting a plug inside of a bathtub. So that's another danger of the animal products.
Right.
And people shouldn't be eating no processed foods anyway because I mean it's known now that they use aborted fetal tissue to flavor the processed food. So if anybody needs some extra motivation out there to stop eating this garbage, you need to keep that in mind that you're the wicked food industry that's the depths that they've reached at this point.
Okay. So the next question is they want to know what's your thoughts on the celery juice craze?
I'm pretty sure celery juice is healthy. Celery is a green vegetable. So, hey, I'm pretty sure it has health benefits, but you can't drink celery juice. You can't drink your way into excellent health. There's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to master eating a whole foods, plant-rich diet. But I have no doubt in my mind that if you go from eating the standard American diet and you switch over to consuming freshly squeezed celery juice, I'm pretty sure you'll see some amazing health benefits. But that's not sustainable long term. Eventually, you're going to have to add more variety and so forth in the diet.
Okay. And the next question they want to know from you is what can they eat for hair? Is there anything they could eat for hair growth, like alopecia or anything like that?
Well, I get asked that question a lot. And of course, if there was a food that can prevent that, then I wouldn't be going by myself. Obviously, I don't have any answers to that if it exists. And Dr. Sebi, he went bald at the end of his life too. Now, Dr. Africa has a head full of hair. So I don't know. I mean, that might be if it comes from an autoimmune disease, you can reverse autoimmune disease. However, because you reverse the autoimmune disease that took your hair follicles away, does that mean that the hair will grow back? I personally, I don't know. Yeah, but I know the type of baldness that I'm going through. I mean, this is 100% genetics. My father went bald out of all of his brothers, and they were all eating that pork sugar diet, and he's the only one that went bald. And none of my other brothers, none of them eat healthy, and they
Okay.
still all they hair. But here I am, the nutritarian, and you see the results.
Yeah. So um, I got one person who wants to know what's your thoughts on sea moss?
The sea vegetables, I'm pretty sure they have great benefits, seed vegetables and so forth. But again, we and the seed moss. I know the seed vegetables are real good for the DHA, the EPA, and they're healthy sources of iodine that the sea vegetables come into play. But we're not fish, so you still need to eat foods that grow above sea level.
Okay. So the next question is, what supplements do you think we need to take that we might be missing due to the lack of minerals in our food?
Vitamin D is the big one. Vitamin D3 that comes from the sun, and the darker the skin, the dark coloration in the skin is melanin, and melanin gives tremendous benefits. However, we're meant to be outdoors, especially the darker the skin. We're meant to be outdoors as humans in the sun, and melanin acted as a type of sunscreen to make sure that we're getting the benefits we need without it being too much. Well, now we're indoors all day. So we don't need a natural sunscreen, but we have it because it's the way we're made. So it's very important to supplement with vitamin D3. That's your cancer disparity right there. The reason why black people get and die from cancer, for the most part, more than white people, that you can attribute that to vitamin D deficiency because we need more.
Okay.
Then also the DHA, EPA, the cosohexanoic acid, icosapentaenoic acid. We can't eat fish no more because the waters are too polluted. Very foolish to eat fish. Fish is, I mean, it's the most polluted thing you can put in your mouth. So those essential fatty acids, and it's important for cardiovascular health. So DHA, EPA. Then there's various other nutrients that we need, but we want to be careful to not overconsume them: iron, zinc, selenium, and so forth. And that's why I offer a very high quality multivitamin, multi-mineral.
Okay. Um, but I have a question for someone who wants to know what food should they eat that will help in getting magnesium since we are pretty much magnesium deficient.
Well, magnesium is in green vegetables. Yeah, so you just need to eat a plant-rich diet. Yeah, that's a micronutrient in greens. We're deficient because we're not consuming enough fruits and vegetables, and then whatever else we need outside of the diet, that's where high quality supplementation comes from. Whole foods plant rich diet, it'll clear up almost 100% of nutritional deficiencies. And then also vitamin B12 is important, especially for those of us who don't consume any animal. Now, the reason why that is because there used to be a time where we grew our own food and we picked it right from the ground, and we really didn't wash it as thorough as we should. So we would get vitamin B12 residue from the microorganism. But now they overwash the produce. The produce is overwashed. And so vitamin B12 for those who don't consume animals is very, very important. People try to get cheap on supplements, but you can't. You got to spend the money and invest in high quality supplements, and that garbage that they sell at Walgreens and Walmart. That's those supplements are made by the pharmaceutical industry. So the same people that's pumping out drugs that mass murders people by the hundreds of thousands, they're the same ones creating these one-a-days and Centrums and Flintstone vitamins and so forth. That stuff is garbage. You might as well be putting dirt in your mouth.
Wow. Okay. So the next question is they want to know is it how much water do they need to be taking in per day?
That depends on what type of diet you're eating. If you're on the standard American diet and you eat a lot of salt, that increases the need for water. So you need 8 glasses a day if you're on the SAD. If you're eating a nutrient-dense plant-rich diet, you can overhydrate because fruits and vegetables is 80-90% water. So you don't need that much water when you're eating your water, because water is actually a macronutrient. There's 4 macronutrients: vitamins, protein, carbs, fat, and water. It's just that water don't have any calories, but water is actually a macronutrient, and fruits and vegetables are full of water.
Okay. So I have one who wants to know do you prefer juicing over smoothies?
Well, right now we've been doing a lot of juicing. I'm actually currently on a juice fast for the month of December. Me and my wife challenge each other to do a juice fast. But both of them do both. Do both. You can do both. You got smoothie fast, you got juice fasting. Might do them all. Do whole food salads, to chew well. Do your smoothies, to get some of those nutrients in fast. And of course, juicing, you really get the nutrients in fast because it removes the fiber. But of course, we need fiber. So do them all. Do all three.
Okay. And so someone wants to know what's your thoughts on the water fasting? Do you feel it's healthy?
Absolutely. If you can do it, if you can force yourself to go without water to go only with water for long periods of time, do it. It'll expedite. You could take someone with a full-blown autoimmune disease and you throw them into a rehab and force them to only drink water for 40 days, and all their diseases will be gone. Same with cancer. You take somebody with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and you force them into rehab and they only drink water combined with the emotional support. Miracles can happen with water fast. Water fasting is the most powerful way to heal the body, but it's extremely difficult. So that's why usually, like we're doing the juice fast, and that's much more sustainable, and smoothie fast and so forth. But juicing, going without eating is always healthy. So water fasting is very powerful. I've done it. The longest I ever did it was for 10 days, and I felt incredible. I made it down to 155 pounds, and my stomach was like a statue. So it felt amazing.
Okay. So I have someone who wants to know. Um, he's a diabetic, and is there certain fruits he should not eat, even though he's going to go plant based, based on the fact that he's diabetic?
Yeah, it shouldn't consume dry fruit. No dry fruits. The high sugar fruits like bananas. You should mostly stick to berries. I tell my diabetics to just do berries for now. Berries and some of the lower sugar melons. Watermelon is good, but to be safe, it's safe to stick with berries. Berries in your smoothie, berries for dessert, and that's the safest way until you reverse your diabetes. Because if you go real strict, you can reverse type 2 in about 30 days or less. And then you can start adding more variety of fruits. So just make the sacrifice to reverse the diabetes, and then you can add more. But just stick to berries, and there's plenty of berries, variety of berries out there: black, blue, cherries, strawberries, plenty of berries to satisfy that sweet tooth until you reverse your diabetes.
Okay. And they wanted to know from you what seeds are best. Is there certain particular seeds that you eat more than others, or which ones you recommend for them?
The healthiest seed is flax seeds. That's the healthiest seed. It contains a powerful medicine called lignans. Women with breast cancer, they ate a little bit of flaxseed in a junk food muffin, and it reduced their chances of dying from breast cancer by 70% because the lignans attack cancerous tumors, especially in the breast tissue. Okay, so so flax seeds are very important. Then flax seeds also help to keep the hormones stable. So flax seeds are the healthiest seed. The healthiest nut is walnuts. They're shaped like the brain, and they're very important for brain health. So those are that's the healthiest seed. So you want to do a tablespoon of that, and then you could add a little bit of walnuts, mainly within your salad dressing, especially if you're trying to lose a lot of weight. You want to restrict nut and seed content when you have a lot of weight to lose and when you're trying to reverse heart disease. So a fourth of a cup a day, that's enough. Mainly flax seeds, and then you can have some nuts when you're making your homemade salad dressing, because you should be home making your salad dressing, and should be, instead of using oils, it should be based off of nuts and seeds, because we don't want to do oils. We don't want to pull the oil out of the whole food and consume that, because the oils don't have any fiber, and that fat will go from your lips to your hips within 2 to 3 minutes.
So you beat me to the punch, because that was the next question, of how do they make homemade dressings if they don't use olive oil or any type of oil.
Yeah,
So
you whole food, the whole food from which it came.
okay.
You don't need olive oil, put olives in there. You don't need peanut oil, put peanuts in there. My salad dressing, I put pineapples, oranges, almonds, and balsamic vinegar. Pineapples, oranges, balsamic vinegar, and almonds, and blend that in a powerful blender. And yeah, that's what you want. Yeah, you want the whole fat source, whole foods. That's why we so fat and sick. We eating all this micronutrient deficient protein with all of that animal and that dairy. Then we're eating all this sugar, all this carbs with no medicinal value, no fiber. And then we're eating all of this fat with no fiber. We gotta stop doing that. The problem is that foods with no fiber are addicting. The lesser the fiber, the less fiber food has, the more addicting, because fiber slows down the absorption of the macronutrients. When the macronutrients are consumed in a speedily fashion, that's when that dopamine rush comes. And that happens with the fat. That's why people are addicted to meat and dairy and cheese. And it happens with the sugar. So we want to get away from that, and really have a nutrient dense diet.
Okay. So I have someone who's listening and watching. He wants to know, uh, is it okay to? I know he said he understands you're doing the whole food plant based, but what do your thoughts on tofu or soy products.
There's nothing wrong with whole soy the way God created. Nothing wrong with a whole soy. But man has taken soy and has processed it to death. And then we have all these health issues from processed soy, and everybody want to demonize soy altogether. That's foolish. That's the same thing people have done with fresh fruit. We over consuming sugar, and now people want to demonize the fresh fruit. And that's the same thing people have done with soy. Whole food, whole soy like edamame is fine. Then a slightly processed soy like tofu in tiny amounts, tempeh in tiny amounts. I mean, I eat that stuff so sparingly. It's not even, it's an insignificant part of my diet. But when I do it, there's nothing wrong with it. But once you start going into the soy hot dogs, the impossible burgers, the Beyond Meats and so forth, the GMO soy, the processed soy, and all these formulas and stuff, that's where the problem comes in.
Okay. So the next question is, what's your thoughts on like oatmeal for breakfast?
Nothing wrong with that. It just has to be organic because they spraying the oats with the whole grains with glyphosate. That's that poison that my Satan is spraying on their crops, and that's a very cancer causing chemical. So that is just make sure it's organic. Steel cut oats are the best. The steel cut oats are not as processed as oatmeal. It's absorbed more slowly. We want to eat slow foods, foods that get absorbed slowly.
Okay.
Steel cut oats, beans, green vegetables, berries. We want to stay away from fast foods. And when I say fast food, I'm not just talking about the death shacks. I'm talking about foods that are processed quickly. That's all the whites. White potato, white rice, white bread, white flour. We want to stay away from those because they get absorbed too quickly in the body. And that's what creates that dopamine hit. Slow foods loaded with fiber. And so when it comes to having a hot cereal, go ahead and get steel cut oats. But the old fashioned oatmeal that you gotta boil and cook for a long time, those are still very good. Just have to be organic now.
Okay. So the next question I have for you is, do you drink um, almond milk or soy milk or anything like that? If so, is there a certain amount you should limit
I mean,
yourself?
we do almond milk, but it's like I said, it's an insignificant part of the diet when in conjunction in comparison to everything else that I consume is insignificant. But organic, high quality almond milk, you gotta pay more to get it high quality because a lot of these almond milks don't barely have almonds in them. And we can make our own almond milk. We just all lazy, but you can, almonds, a little bit of vanilla, water. That's pretty much it. And you can blend that up and have your own almond milk.
So one of the members said that they noticed that you said that you have a health fair coming in January of 2020, and they want to know, are you going to be touring the United States? And if so, what cities are you going to be going to?
Well, January 4th, I'll be in St. Louis, Missouri. That's 100% definitive. The link to that is 2k20weightloss.eventbrite.com. You always want to attend, and this is the last event I'll be hosting for a while. You want to attend that one as much as possible because my events I can speak for much longer and give you a lot more information. Okay, so that's my event, St. Louis, Missouri, January 4th, 2K20 weight loss. Eventbrite.com. We got about a month left. January the 12th, I might be in Houston, Texas. But that'll be a Sunday morning at a church. I'll be speaking with the pastor this week, Wednesday, to see if it'll be 100% locked in. Then January the 19th, I'll be in Mobile, Alabama, Sunday afternoon. That's Prayer Ministries Inc. So you can, my Facebook page is the Minister of Wellness. You want to follow me on Facebook, the Minister of Wellness, or follow me on Eventbrite, the Minister of Wellness, and I list all the details and all the event pages. And then the last weekend in January, I'm supposed to be in Orlando, Florida. January the 25th. And again, and all and the tickets for that can be purchased on Eventbrite. And again, my Facebook page, the Minister of Wellness, contains that information. So that's what I have lined up in February. I might be in Tampa Bay, Florida, February 1st. I might be in Southwest Louisiana, February the 8th. March, at the end of March, I may be in Nashville speaking at a culinary workshop. So I'm all over the place, but anything definitive, rest assured I'll announce it. So you want to keep up with me on YouTube,
Okay.
Facebook, so you can know definitively when the events are happening.
So one of my people text me and said they didn't hear Atlanta. Do you? They said, do you see Atlanta in your eye in the coming around sometime this year?
Absolutely, but you all have to help me do that. The reason why I'm in all these other cities is because people are spreading the information. So, I mean, I've had about 100 people that they'll watch my videos and say, when you come into Atlanta, but once you get done watching my video, have you shared my information with people? My website, theministerofwellness.com, my speaker's website, nathanielJordan.com. So the question is, for the ATL and any other city, how many people have you all shared my information with? Because guess what? I'm too busy to be reaching out to people. Everything happens by word of mouth. And of course, you need connections with people in that city, and that's up to you all to do that for me. And I thank everybody that has done that. But usually, again, we're all so busy, so people just forget. They watch the video, get pumped up when you come into Atlanta, and then they don't even share my information with the organizations and the churches that can make it happen. So but yeah, it'll happen one day. But as of this time, nobody has stepped up to the plate yet.
Okay. Okay. And the next question I want to know is what made you focus more on motivational speaking and less on health coaching?
Well, my gift is my voice. So people been making fun of my voice since I hit puberty. When I was on the police department, and I had all sorts of nicknames, and people always making fun. Half the time I'd be scared to come on the radio because the radio, my voice gets. I mean, I'm down there with Melvin from the Temptations. Always, So I mean, all my adult life, you gonna do voiceovers, and you gonna do this, and that's what you should do, man. You could get rich from doing voiceovers. So, I never knew. My father was a preacher, and I never knew what I could use my voice to speak about until I became the minister of wellness, and that is truly my gift. That's how I inspire people. That's how I'm able to reach so many people, is through people listening to my voice, through my videos. And that's how I have these success stories. So that's my gift. And so you got to do what you're gifted at. I'm great. I love health coaching people one on one. And I'm very good at it because I speak from experience. But my gift is my voice, my strong voice. The Most High blessed me to have a voice and the personality of a lion, and that helps me when I'm speaking. That I'm able to captivate people and move people and convict and inspire people to change.
Love it. So I have a question from a member who's watching, and he wants to know. Um, he wants to know what can he do for naturally to get rid of like fungus on
Where's the fungus growing?
on
Yeah.
his feet.
Well, I mean, that's a matter of just cleaning up your diet. Fungal growth, I mean, that's controlled by your immune system. And we strengthen our immune system through what we eat. The G bombs are the immune system special forces: greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. But if it's really getting serious again, you need to consult with a holistic medical doctor. Yeah,
Oh,
you need to get in touch with a holistic medical doctor. I get people all the time, and they email me with some crazy stuff that I've never heard of. I ask someone today emailing me with stage 4 cancer, and I had to tell them, like, listen, that's outside of my scope of practice. If you got stage 4 cancer, you need a holistic doctor. Now, you can watch my videos and start applying the information, and it will help. But you need a medical, you need to be under somebody's care. And again, that's a holistic doctor. It's just that you're going to have to be willing to pay the cost, to pay the price to get real help. Because if you go to the death care industry, yeah, your insurance will cover it, but they're covering you, you're slaughtering.
So, the people want to know, can you give them all your social media information so they can follow you or reach out to you for more information or any questions?
Yeah, the Minister of Wellness. That's my title. So anywhere you can go is not a different. It's not a different tagline or a term or name. YouTube, the Minister of Wellness. Facebook, the Minister of Wellness. Twitter, the Minister of Wellness. Instagram, the Minister of Wellness. LinkedIn, the Minister of Wellness. That's all you got to do. Type in the Minister of Wellness. I'm the only one in the world, and you'll find my information. Google the Minister of Wellness, all my stuff will pop up, and start learning. I got over 400 videos on YouTube, the 28-part health seminar series. That's my classic series that have saved and transformed hundreds of lives around the world. The power of the G bombs, the 12 components of food addiction, and the fundamentals of eating to live. Those are the 28 videos that you want to dive into. Make sure you have notebook and pen.
The next question is, outside of watching your videos, what books would you recommend them to read in order to get more education on a nutritarian diet?
I have on my website, theministerofwellness.com, I have an online store. I have Prevent and Reverse All Disease, Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease and High Blood Pressure, Reverse Type 2 Diabetes. I have the Eat for Health book, 100 Best Foods for Health and Longevity. So that's 5 books that not only give you a tremendous amount of information, but tons of recipes. And remember, this week, my book, Lose 100 Pounds in 100 Days, the full nutrition and lifestyle program, will be back in stock for pre-order. And you want to pre-order it because I only can order about 200 copies at a time, and they are going to go fast, especially since later this month I'll be back on Sirius XM.
Okay. So I want to give you opportunity to speak from your heart. You have as much time as you want to take as the Minister of Wellness to speak to the listeners, whatever you want to speak about. It could be about wellness. It could be about food addiction. Wherever you choose to be led to talk about, this is your opportunity right now.
Yeah, well, I just encourage everyone to, my saying is to get off the death train. And we get off the death train by having that belief in yourself that you can achieve what I have achieved. Again, you're not looking at a perfect man. What you're looking at is a result of knowledge and a determination that no one is going to experiment on me like a lab rat. And you have to make that determination. Don't give up. The 12 component of food addiction is hopelessness. That's where people throw in the towel on their health and they become what I call an insane food zombie, meaning that they create all of these lies and myths to support their food addiction. Yes, we're going to die anyway, but it's not about avoiding death. It's about living life to the fullest. And I'm here to tell you that you have not sung your best song, you ain't wrote your best book, you have not spoken your best speech, you haven't lived your best life. The best is yet to come, but it's not going to come unless you take care of yourself. So there's no, the reason why I speak so much is because we have all these motivational speakers and they talking about this, talking about that. Listen, none of that matter without your health, without your physical or mental health. You don't have to have heart disease. You don't have to be a diabetic. You don't have to suffer from strokes. You don't have to accept being overweight. You don't have to keep lying to yourself that you're big bone and all this other foolishness. No, it's the food addiction. And the greatness that is within me is within you. You just have to tap into it through extensive knowledge. Okay, extensive knowledge and trusting in a power far greater than ourselves, trusting in the Most High to give you the power and the strength that you need. And I can help you because I've been doing this for 7 years. And trust me, my 28-part health seminar series on YouTube, it'll take you home. It will take you home. Get that notebook and pen out and watch it carefully and trust me. And then if you're able to, at all costs, whatever city that I'm in, St. Louis or whatever I have coming up, make your way there, and I can help take you to the promised land. Because a lot of times we have to lean on the shoulders of someone who believes in us more than we
We
believe
believe
in
in
ourselves.
ourselves.
And that's my message. My message is you can be healthy, you will be healthy, you must be healthy. And to never give up, never stop fighting, to keep your eyes on the prize. Don't try to change anyone but yourself. No one's going to listen to you if you're overweight. People watch my videos and lose 2 pounds and want to save the world. No, you need to take care of yourself. If it's meant for someone else to change that you love, they'll come along later after they watch you. They're not going to listen if you're not. Oh man, the minister of wellness is this and that. Listen, here's what they're going to say. If he's so great, why don't you change it? Why are you overweight? Why are you still sick if this man is so great? So you have to be a living example, and then they will change. And that's pretty much what I have to say, my brother.
I appreciate that. It resonated because I know people who are overweight themselves and they are concerned about other people who are overweight, and they try to tell the other people that care about their weight, but they are not resistant to them, not willing to listen to them because they don't see no change in that person. And so it really made sense to what you just said. And I told the person themselves too, until you create a change within you, you cannot affect nobody else. You know, people listen to you, people listen to me because we both lost a lot of weight. I lost 66 pounds, you lost weight as well. So that we understand the journey. We understand, you know, I like food, just like everybody else. So you have to understand that you have to be able to deal with that addiction and have to figure out your way, the best way for you to handle that addiction. And so you won't keep on doing the roller coaster ride of losing weight and gaining weight. So I really appreciate everything that you have said today. The people have been watching. They are very honored that you came on the show. They appreciate the fact that you gave them the knowledge that they need to learn. Hopefully, they'll apply it to their lives. They are appreciative of the fact that you explained what nutritarian is and compared to vegan, because they thought it was the same thing. And so the way you explained it to them gave them a better knowledge of what they need to do and understand. Now they got clarity that they couldn't understand why people who was vegan were still being big, or people who was vegan who still being unhealthy. So the way you explained it today made them completely understand the difference and what route they need to go about doing it. So they are really appreciative of everything you said today, and they want me to let you know that. So I appreciate you, sir. Once again, you know, my whole intent and purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower people to be the best version of themselves, mind, body, and spirit. But however, I'm also really big on giving a platform to men who are doing great things in the community that's going to help not just our community, but also the world. And this is what this man is doing. We need to support people like himself and myself who are doing great things, because without your support, we can't continue to help others. So you see him you watch his video, uh, donate to his cause, help him, help us. You know, if you watch my show, donate to me so I can continue to give you the ultimate client shows that's possible. Because without us, we can't help you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to do my best, sir, to get you to the ATL some kind of way. So if we could do something together, or if I could find a church or somebody that's going to be able to help you, I gotta get you down to ATL because I do promote your videos a lot. I want people to understand what you do and who you are. And so I think it'd be amazing if you come down to ATL and affect the world down here as well. So that's my goal for 2020 is to get you down here to ATL. So,
I would love that, brother. That would be great, and it would be a big event. 'Cause like I said, I mean, I've had like 100 some people ask me. They get excited and ask, but they not sharing it with the right people. So that's definitely something that we can talk about. But
okay.
it got a lot of people down there waiting for me to come.
Okay, so I have you on my social media, so I will stay in contact with you. We're gonna make this happen for 2020. I just want to say thank you again. I truly appreciate you, and thank you to all the listeners who've been tuning in. I have some major news that we're working on, me and Lotus, for 2020. We're looking to go to Africa, and we might even offer you guys who might want to go, who've been watching the show, following us, if you want to attend, you can too. So once we get the information, we'll let you know the prices and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be the Wellness Architect Show. Me and Lotus going to Africa. So if you those who might want to go, feel free, and we'll keep you in contact once we get the full details of the information. So with that being said, have a great week. Be authentic, be healthy, be yourself, and we're out. Peace. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.